He's been floating a little bit more. And it just lends the ball wide. Wade was losing his balance a little bit here, but does so well as he cuts back and sees that he's got a double team coming just to get this ball to Pulisic. And just look how quick, I love that little feint as he makes it look like he's going to go off his, outside of his right foot. Watch this. This is just so quick, so dynamic, and he gets it onto that left foot right there. It's lovely. He just doesn't catch it the way he wants to.
Here comes De Bruyne. Doku down the left side. The Catalera is in the middle if Doku can find him. Doku against McKenzie. And now it's Onana! It's 2-1 Belgium! Amadou Onana with his first international goal.
And just right here, McKenzie, he does a good job of slowing Doku down. He gets a challenge on there. It just falls right here as the U.S. are crowding. And you wonder if Tillman can slide and hit the ground. You know, at this point, as that ball's coming out, the best way you could try to make this block is just go to ground right here. And it just goes right through his legs. And you could see Matt Turner, I mean, nothing he could do about that. He's trying to set his feet. He's sliding across. I mean, it's just well outside of his reach. It just, Tillman, you wonder if he goes and hits ground, and he's definitely making the block and forcing another touch out of Onana. And Turner furious.
Matt Turner beaten by the 24-year-old Aston Villa midfielder. In his second year with Villa after a couple of years at Everton. Played every minute of all 4 games for Belgium at Euro 2024. They lost 1-0 to France in the round of 16 in that tournament. Beaten by a Vertonghen own goal in the 85th minute, having finished second in the group at the Euros. Weah with this ball hoisted high in towards the back post. Anthony Robinson just keeping it in play. He's got support from Tillman there on the far side. Salamakers closes down. Pulisic. Really well done by Christian Pulisic as he pulls this one back. Anthony Robinson battling for it. Drops towards Pulisic! And the flag is up on the near side for offside.
Christian Pulisic growing into the game a little bit. Floating, trying to find those little pockets between the lines. Here's a look at it. Just lovely change of pace, and a little bit ahead of Anthony Robinson, and clearly in an offside position as it gets toe poked through. Brian Dunseth at the beginning of the game was talking about, I think it was 6 players, how many players played in that World Cup against the Netherlands. This kind of feels a little bit like that game. You know, a world power that's fine sitting back, fine seeing what the U.S. can do, and just being devastating on the counterattack.
Pulisic's ball through Balogun. Now McKennie finds Weah! Drilled wide by Tim Weah.
He goes for the laces in power, and you can see it comes off the side of his foot. Christian Pulisic was in the center. I wonder if he'd go in the instep and just fire it on the ground. Good opportunity there for Tim Weah.
Weah back in the squad, having not been around for those games against Paraguay and Uruguay in November. Started both games in October against Ecuador and Australia. Here's Doku down the left side. Doku against Weah. Doku's ball in, gets the return. It's Doku all the way through, and Turner with a big save. And Turner once again. What a stop from Matt Turner. But the referee, I think, has pointed at the penalty spot for a handball.
Is it Tim Ream? It looked like it took a little deflection as it comes through to Matt Turner. I mean, what about this ball? Oh boy.
The best.
That's about as good. I mean, obviously he had that strike with the goal. That's a wonderful, world-class ball. I mean, what about this one too? It's just absolutely lovely. And Turner comes up with a huge save. And you can see it's a handball. Now watch his left arm, Tim Ream. It just goes up right here. Yeah. What, does it hit his hand?
There is VAR today.
I don't know if that touches his his arm. That look tells you maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know if that touches his arm. You know, that you could see the ball. Look at that Nike swoosh. It changes directions at one point, and you just wonder what created that deflection.
The VAR thinks it isn't a penalty. So Tatiana Guzman of Nicaragua sending Esteban Ostojic of Uruguay to the screen.
Yeah, it might have just came off the backside of his thigh, and that's what created that deflection. I mean, there's definitely not a look that we saw that made it definitely a handball, but just watch. I think maybe on the backside as he's twisting. Right here as he's twisting, I think he catches that ball on the way down.
I'm looking at the ref right now. He's right in front of me looking at the VAR, and he's nodding yes.
Yeah, I think right there, I think it just glances the underside of his arm right here, Melissa. And you can see just the design of the ball, that Nike switch, it just changes right there. It goes down and spins on a different axis.
He gave a pen. There's not really enough to overturn it.
There's nothing that says it's definitely not a handball. Yeah. I got Brad Guzan looking over my shoulder. What do you say? No pen? Of course you would say that. Of course you would say that.
But great save. He says no pen, but great save.
It's so tough. It's so tough to tell. Yeah. He's saying it's a pen. I mean, when he twists his body, it almost masks it where you can't see. It's so hard to know. So hard to know. His reaction is the only thing that maybe gives you a hint it's a handball. It's not conclusive enough with that replay to reverse it, though.
The Catalara against Matt Turner for the chance to give Belgium a 2-goal advantage. The Catalara scores. It's 3-1 Belgium. De Catalara emphatic from the spot.
I mean, it's an amazing save from Turner. I'll say that. Handball or no handball. And then this is just too smooth. And Turner just thinking he'll close his hips with that left foot and bring that ball to Turner's left. He just watches it go in the net. And after a really good start to this match, you have to say it's just Doku. Doku has just become an absolute menace, and the boys were talking about it on the set. We were all saying, I mean, it's really going to be about how do you neutralize that threat. And for much of the first half, the U.S. had it locked down, and Doku's just come alive.
From here, we're looking like we're going to see changes on the U.S. side. Sebastian Berhalter, Alex Freeman, and Max Arfsten ready to take the field.
And 5 changes coming for Rudy Garcia's Belgium as well, including Lois Openda. Bacchio coming in. Also Nathan Ngoy. So as we pass the hour mark here, both sides making major changes. McKennie trying to get a flick on there. This will be cleared away by Mounier, up down that right side to Salamakers in the battle with Tillman. So here come the changes. We mentioned earlier, 11 changes allowed today in this game. Belgium making 5 at once. Comes De Kuiper. Joachim Seys coming in. De Winter, Luc Bacchio, Openda, and Ngoy. The players being brought on here by Rudy Garcia. Is this a harsh scoreline on the US?
No. No, we just mentioned that this Netherlands team, a lot of people like to call them a possession team. A lot of people like to look at them and their skill and their ability on the ball. But a lot of times this Belgian team has no problem sitting, countering, and just in transition, they've been ruthless. And they've had, we went over the stats. I mean, they have not only a lot of attempts, a lot of really high-quality attempts.
I mean, the most ruthless is definitely Jeremy Doku on that left-hand side. It's been a handful this entire game. First half, 42 touches, 6 1v1 attempts, and so far 8 1v1, but only 3 successful. But that danger that he creates, whether it's successful or not successful, is what really affects the defensive line of the U.S.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the collapse on him that happens, even in that last effort where McKenzie does a good job to deflect the ball away. It's just how out of shape you are when you go over to handle him.
US Soccer on TNT Sports is presented by Volkswagen. Live life in the driver's seat. So here comes the triple change for the United States. Sebastian Berhalter, Max Arfsten and Alex Freeman coming in. Anthony Robinson makes way. He got an assist today on McKennie's goal. Tim Ware also coming out, so changes on either side of that back line, and Tanner Tessman leaves the game.
Well, obviously the scoreline tough. Anthony Robinson looked really good. And, you know, I wonder, it would have been a big tactical change. I was at Craven Cottage a season ago and watched Anthony Robinson go against Doku and did really well on the day, handling him. You know, you wonder if at one point where Doku was getting in the game, maybe you throw Anthony Robinson over there to deal with him. But all in all, great to see Robinson back fit and having a good performance.
Berhalter on the ball now in the midfield as he plays it out towards Ream on the far side. Sebastian Berhalter, Vancouver Whitecaps midfielder, coming in for his 10th cap. Made his debut in the loss against Switzerland in June of last year. A couple of assists in 5 starts at the Gold Cup. Had a goal and an assist, his first international strike against Uruguay to finish out the year in Tampa. Tillman's ball out wide to the far side. Arfsten of Columbus rolls it back. Cross hit for McKenzie. So the players leaving for Belgium: De Bast, De Kuiper, De Ketelaere up top, who scored that penalty, Salamakers as well.
I'm sure US fans would have liked to see that number 11 go up for Belgium, but he's still out there.
Doku has been at times unplayable. Here it comes towards Balogun. Pulisic couldn't get on the end of that one. Doku turning. He's been robbed there, and the referee gets the free kick. Tillman furious.
Well, it looked like a foul in real time, and nothing there so far. It was just right here where he goes to shield the ball. I mean, he definitely takes out his plant foot.
Lomans then gets things going, and the pressure coming from Tillman as it's played all the way across the back there from Ngoy. Pulisic chasing to keep it in play at the touchline on the far side. Mounier back to defend here as it's played all the way back for Max Arfsten. That cross will be clipped in towards Balogun at the penalty spot. Away as far as Doku here, who looks to try and create something going forward for Belgium. Ngoy's ball down the left side, and he couldn't quite pick out Sace.
You know, it's just a little interesting, and I'm a big Sebastian Berhalter fan, but you need 2 goals. Gio Reyna, like if you're thinking World Cup and why Gio Reyna would be at the World Cup, it's for exact situations like this. And obviously you know, he's not going to treat it exactly that way. 11 substitutions isn't happening in a World Cup, but it's a half an hour that you give a player that absolutely has the type of quality to get you, you know, back in this game. So just not I can't say it's a poor decision, just an interesting decision.
It's like 5 more changes coming for Belgium, including Axel Witsel and Yuri Tielemans. And going with a high ball across to that far side. 22-year-old defender from Lille. One of the changes made here by Rudy Garcia as Belgium come forward down the right side with Meunier. Doku wanted to play out, but the ball goes all the way from that right side straight in. It didn't need to come back to Doku. Luke Bacchio with a superb strike, and Belgium have 4.
That's kind of the theme of the day, right? These isolated 1v1 positions wide. Luke Bacchio, I mean, at this point when he picks up the ball, it's just so easy for him. Gets in on that left foot, and Mercer's nowhere near him. I mean, he's got to cheat him down that line, and you can see his all left foot. He wants it there, and just really poor defending from Marston lets him in on his favorite foot, and then that's a lovely finish. But those isolated 1v1 positions, just the help in the first half hour it was there, and since then they just haven't had an answer for when these Belgian players put their head down and take them on 1v1. I mean, beautiful skill, great pace, but just too easy getting on that left foot.
Well, at one point it looked as if Luke Bacchio would try and pick out somebody else, but he only had that top corner on his mind. What a finish it was. As we're into a cooling break here. And all of a sudden, this has got a little out of control for the United States. More changes coming now for Belgium, and a couple as well for the United States as Gio Reyna gets set to come in. In fact, we'll see Ricardo Pepi and I think Joe Scally as well. Patrick Adjeman as well coming in. So the captain's armband for Belgium gets handed towards Yuri Tielemans, Aston Villa player who has appeared at the last 2 World Cups and the last 2 Euros. He's played for his country for a decade. Bringing on 37-year-old Axel Witsel, who has the 2nd most caps for Belgium behind Jan Vertonghen. Witsel at 134, Vertonghen at 157. Witsel made his debut all the way back in 2008. And here comes Gio Reyna. What can he do here for the final 20 minutes?
Would have to be pretty heroic.
Ricardo Pepi coming in for the United States, the 23-year-old from El Paso, Texas. The PSV man coming on for his 35th cap. And the look on the face of Christian Pulisic says it all. The first half that was fairly even. A first half in which Weston McKennie gave the United States the lead. Only to see Belgium tied up just before half-time and then score 3 more times after the break.
It feels a little bit, remember that game in Hartford we did against Germany? Yeah, kind of feels a little bit like that moment where we saw a really bright US. I mean, Christian Pulisic scores a beautiful goal in that game, and then just class and also in wide positions, 1v1 players that were just tearing the US apart that day in
So wholesale changes from both coaches as we're into the final 20 minutes here in Atlanta. Patrick Adjiman coming in as well, having had a good season in the championship. The former Charlotte man making the move to England with Derby County. He appeared in 12 games last year and had 5 goals for the United States in 2025.
One thing today says that's not surprising is just how important Chris Richards is to this side. Has a little bit of a knock, and we chatted with him the other day, but he makes a big difference to that back line.
Reyna just slips there, and Witsel tries to get a foot to it. Picked up once again by Gio Reyna. Reyna admitting that could be a bit of a controversial decision for Mauricio Pochettino to name him in the squad due to his lack of playing time. Said, of course, it's always easier to come to play for your country when you are getting regular minutes, but Mauricio Pochettino was very happy with what Gio Reyna contributed to this group in that international window. Those 2 wins in the fall in November against Paraguay and Uruguay. As Ngoy puts that one out of play, it'll be a corner here for the United States. And Sebastian Berhalter quickly across to come and take corner number 5. Berhalter already with a couple of goals and 4 assists in the league so far this season for Vancouver. It comes for Roldan, who came on for Cardoso at half-time. Couldn't quite find the head of Gio Reyna there as it's headed away by Castagna. Castagna, another one of the experienced players on the Belgian bench that came on with those big changes. Teammate of Anthony Robinson's at Fulham. Castagna going 90 minutes in a 3-1 win against Burnley in his first Premier League start since early February, just before the break. Played across the back there by Alex Freeman. Freeman with a change of clubs in the off-season, making the move from Orlando to Villarreal, the MLS Young Player of the Year last year. Berhalter. Back now for Ream. Mackenzie's ball down the right side and flipped inside there by Arfston. Berhalter turns and tries to play this one through. Arfston just looking to keep it in play by the corner flag, but it rolls out here for a US throw. And it's Alex Freeman coming forward to take this one here from the back. Freeman's 14th cap, launches it one long towards Adjiman, couldn't quite get there as this ball is hoisted high. Berhalter gets ahead to it. Witsel will look to clear it away. Neat play there as the referee just takes out Tielemans.
I wasn't going to get to that anyway. It's unlucky for the U.S. I mean, Tielemans, that ball is definitely heading out in front of him.
All the way back towards Lommans, who made a couple of big stops in the first half when the score was still 0-0. Looking for Luke Bacchio, who had that wonderful finish for the 4th goal. 66,867, the crowd inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Portugal to come here on Tuesday night, the 2nd game of this international window here in Atlanta for the US. Berhalter loses out to Witsel. And then just as Mika Götze was getting ready to carry that one forward, the referee blows the whistle for the free kick for the United States.
He just catches his plant foot right there. Berhalter has been a spark for sure. Just trying to get on the ball and all these tight spaces. Had a lovely little ball over the top that almost made it to Adjiman.
Freeman down the right side. This is Reina. Gio Reina plays forward towards Adjiman. He's got Pepe in there, but Ricardo Pepe couldn't get on the end of it as it rolls through towards Lommans. Tielemans in the heart of the Belgian midfield, picked up here by Ream. Reina. Scally to his right, Freeman playing in a more advanced role. And here's Ream. Austin pushing that one forward down the left side, and their defending was Ducat. Picked up by Ream once again for the United States here. 13 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in Atlanta as Reina rolls this one back for Joe Scally. Scally, the Borussia Mönchengladbach defender, was in the World Cup squad in Qatar but didn't play. And this one's taken quickly by Berhalter out wide to the far side for Adjiman. He's got support from Arston. Runs at Luke Bacchio over there on that far side. Adjiman plays it back for Berhalter. This is Scally. Freeman. And he's done well there to win the corner as the challenge came in from Seis. It's a sixth corner of the game for the United States. Freeman hasn't had the minutes he would have liked of late since making the move to Villarreal. Didn't play in a win against Real Sociedad last week. Roll down. Reina. Alex Freeman in the squad for 9 games since his move in January to Villarreal, just 38 minutes played. He gets the chance today for the closing stages here. Maurizio Pochettino's side. Berhalter hoisted in back post, trying to find Pepe as it comes out to Arston, closed down by Luke Bacchio. Arston's ball in.
Alex Freeman said that the last 8 to 10 months has been absolutely life-changing for him, of course, with that move to Villarreal. Despite the lack of minutes, he says he's learning things every day from playing such a high level in the competitiveness and really fine-tuning his technical abilities. Hopefully we could see something in these minutes he's getting in today's match, and as he's trying to solidify that World Cup roster spot.
Given away by Tielemans as Adjiman plays it back for Scally. Now it's Berhalter across towards Roldan. Arston in space on the far side. Castagna goes to close down as that cross is deep in towards the back post and cleared away from the Adjiman header. Downfield it goes there from Seis, the Bruges defender. Roldan sticks a head in and back it goes as Ream helps the ball towards Matt Turner. Turner's last starts back in June also saw 4 goals conceded in that 4-0 loss in Nashville against Switzerland. Witsel. Witsel, one of 2 players in this Belgium squad, along with De Bruyne, that played in the 2014 World Cup, as well as 2018 and 2022. Luke Bacchio. Ngoy. Seis. Down the left side for Götze. The Ajax man is pulled back there by Scally. That's probably a yellow. So 10 minutes to go here.
Lovely little move there. Just hesitation. I mean, very, very clear he's going to get a yellow for that.
Plenty of space in the midfield here as it's brought forward by Ducat. Wide for Luke Bacchio on the right side. He's already got one today. Roldan is able to get there and get a touch to that one before Castagna could do anything about it. Inside for Luke Bacchio once again. Now it comes all the way for Luke Bacchio. He's got a second. Belgium have a fifth here in Atlanta.
I mean, nearly a facsimile of the goals we